So this video, I wanted to go into like a little bit of backstory and then talk about the treatments that they're doing as a whole. Sorry, excuse me. Instead of a day-to-day update as I have been doing, because I think people have only heard kind of bits and pieces, and a little bit has been posted onto the GoFundMe, but there's been a long time leading up to even just being here in Florida. So I've always been like a really tired person, like more so than the average person, especially at 26. But then I started feeling like something was really off. I should not be as tired. I'm going to bed at like 8-9 o'clock, sleeping all night and still waking up really tired. And I think to me that wasn't normal. To a lot of other people it wasn't normal, but I was just so tired. In 2022, like right at the new year, I got COVID and had really bad shortness of breath and all that, and I never really recovered from that, I didn't think. But moving into the summer of 2022, I was so miserable. I was way more tired than normal. My body as like a whole just hurt. Everything ached and pained. I couldn't really walk. I didn't want to go outside. I got hot so much quicker than everybody else, and people would say, oh, you live in Houston, like it's hot. Yeah, of course you're hot. And it was just different than like what I was used to being hot, because you get used to the heat and the humidity, right? But this was unbearable. I barely left my bed for that whole summer. I was getting way more irritated easily at things that weren't even like a thing, right? But I would just be so irritated, never mad, just like annoyed very easily. And then the kicker was my legs and feet would start to go numb as I would like walk. So I think in July of 2022 is when it really started, things going numb. I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything, and it got to the point where I felt almost paralyzed. And it wasn't just from like walking or working out, it was like sitting on the couch, my legs would go numb. I wasn't able to walk down the stairs, I wasn't able to go up the stairs, I wasn't able to do really anything. And so then I went to the doctor, because like that's not right. So I thought it was neuropathy, and it ended up, so I had to go see a neurologist, who then sent me to an MS specialist. And so from the MS specialist, and you know these things take like months and months and months and testing and whatever. So the MS specialist, I never really felt right that it was MS, but I went to go get a second opinion at a functional doctor that was recommended to me. And the thing with functional doctors is they're not covered by insurance. They don't run insurance, they don't do any of that, so everything is kind of out of pocket. So I've had to take things a little bit slower just because insurance wasn't covering a lot of it. I could send in the bills and hope that it would like be reimbursed maybe. Luckily I got on a PPO plan at work, and so things started going towards my deductible when I would send it in. But I mean, all of that's still out of pocket, and it got to be a pretty penny. So did that and ended up being officially diagnosed with Lyme, chronic fatigue, and chronic inflammation response syndrome in March of 2023. So I started doing IV therapy once a week, and in my IV was a detox solution, so like vitamin C, glutathione, zinc, B12, B complex, and a bunch of other things that I'm not really sure, but it was helping. So I did that once a week for 10 weeks, and then started what they call ozone therapy. And so that essentially is, they take blood out of one arm, fill it up into a bag, put ozone in the bag, which cleans the blood. and then it runs back through a machine, and the red blood cells separate through a UV light, and so they like clean, and then they get inserted back into my body. So I did about 12 or 13 weeks of that, plus an IV after to kind of replenish my body, and that pretty much took me out for a whole while, but luckily through you guys I was able to get into this clinic in Florida. Through your donations, your prayers, all of that, I was able to get into this clinic in Florida, which has a Lyme specialist, and they're one of the top clinics in the country that do it. So what I wanted to get into today, and I have my binder, you can't really see it, they gave me a binder of the treatments that I've been doing, or that I will be doing. So the first one, I'm still going to be doing the IV therapy, which is why I had to get this PICC line. So it's going to consist of a Myers cocktail, which basically helps boost the immune system because my immune system is shot right now. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is called UVBI, and it stands for ultraviolet blood irradiation. It helps, I'm just going to read this. It kills microorganisms, but also allows the useful bacteria to remain. So it sounds to me a lot of what I've been doing with the UV light, the ozone therapy. I think it's just called something different is my understanding. I'll still be doing glutathione. It's just going to be put in a little bit different. I think it's in its own IV bag instead of in the shot or the into the catheter like I have been doing. Something else I'm going to be doing is called major auto chemotherapy, MAH, and it helps with the circulation of the different ozone treatments. So it's just going to help everything move. It's something very specific for Lyme, and it also helps with the chronic fatigue, so it's going to help give me a lot of energy. So basically, it also sounds like the ozone that I've been doing. This is the first time that I've actually really read through all of this, just because it's a lot and overwhelms me. The next thing is called chelation, and it's taken me a long time to learn to pronounce that. So basically, it's an IV of amino acids, vitamin C, B complex, and magnesium. And this is supposed to help brush out the heavy metals. So I'll be doing that 2 to 3 times a week. The other things, and I'll go back to that in a second. Another thing that I'm doing is called extracorporeal blood oxygenation and ozonation, EBOO. So basically that's why I need 2 PICCs, because they pull blood out from one arm and put it back into the other. So it's going to take out half of the volume of blood in my body, which is why I think they do it twice or in 2 arms, so you don't have all that blood come out at one time. So basically this one, and I'm just going to read this, blood leaves one arm, flows through a tube into a machine. In that machine, the blood is filtered with oxygen and ozone, and then it actually cleans out the blood. So all the inflammation that I have, which I have a lot, is gonna like drip down into this tube, and I'll be doing that like 3 times a week as well. Another thing is called pulse magnetic field therapy, and I'm not going to get into this one because this is a lot of words on this page and I need to just read it. Another one is called hyperthermic ozone and carbonic acid transdermal technology. So basically that one is like a personal ozone steam sauna is what it said. Allergy elimination treatment, so basically finding out what I'm allergic to and making sure that I stay away from it, including different supplements and stuff. So they have a whole page on things that they're going to test for on that. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, which is what I've been doing. at home already, thanks to Karen and Larry Kress. They've given me their oxygen chamber up until I was coming to Florida. And so you get into this chamber, and it just fills the air with like the oxygen and ozone, or the oxygen, and it's supposed to help a lot of things. Another thing I'm doing is going to be autoimmune injections, and this is to help boost up my autoimmune system. Scar injections sounds really scary, but basically they're going to inject me with my own blood is what it sounds like, and it's supposed to heal like the scars. Segmental therapy is another one, and this just helps with activation of the nervous system, I believe. And then I have to give myself a bunch of shots at here. So those ones that I previously covered were all in person. So I'll be in treatment for about 7 to 8 hours a day, 3 days a week. But then I'll be doing the hyperbaric chamber 5 days a week. So right now we're waiting for my tests, all my tests to get sent in. I just have one more day of testing to drop off tomorrow after the blood draw, and then hopefully I can start the hyperbaric chamber on Friday. But I'll be here for 6 weeks. At 6 weeks I have to go home, and my mom has work. I have to get back to work because I just extended my leave off work again, so I can't stay here forever, unfortunately, and I need to get back to Milo. But that's a little bit about what I'm doing here. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to reach out. I haven't been the best at being on my phone lately just because I'm so overwhelmed in life, but I'll be happy to send any of this paperwork, answer any questions, and of course I'll be updating you guys every day on how I'm feeling, what I did that day, and different things like that. So hopefully this helps provide a little bit of insight. The GoFundMe is still up, and I will still be posting updates on that as well. So I just can't thank you all enough for your love and support through this time. And these videos are public, so you can share them. Hopefully they help somebody. If not, I'm just talking to myself. Thanks, guys.